Okay, fifth class, open up your Busy at Maths on page 77. Right, so we have our fraction here, we're changing into decimals using division. Okay, so we know 1/4, that actually means we're dividing 4 into 1. Okay, so if we have if we're dividing 4 into 1, we write it down like that, don't we? But we can put in our decimal point here and add in loads of zeros. Okay, I usually add in 3 just for safe measure, right? This will help us down the line, I'll show you why, right? So if we divide 4 into 1, obviously we can't do it. Now here's where our zeros come in handy. We can now bring our 1 here, make this 10. 4 into 10. How many times does 4 go into 10? Twice. We have a remainder of 2. Okay, so our 2 goes here. This is now 20. Okay, so 4 into 20 goes 5 times. There's our answer. Very simple. We didn't even need this last one, but it's just there just in case. Okay, so we have our answer 0.25. Okay, very simple. It looks confusing, but it's very simple once you get into it, right? Okay, we'll do one more example. So 1/20. So we're dividing 20 into 1. Okay, we'll put our decimal point here, decimal point there, and we'll do 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 20 into 1, can't do obviously, so 0. 20 into 10, can we do it? No, so 0, get rid of that. Now 20 into, remember we're bringing over 10, so this is now 100. Okay, so 20 into 100 can we do? Yes we can. How many times? 20 into 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. 5 times. So our answer, didn't even need this one either, is 0.05. Seems complicated, it's very easy, right? And then over here, we're finding the equivalent tenth or hundredth to help change these to decimals. Okay, so 1/5, they multiply the 5 by 2 on the bottom, so what do we do on the top? Multiply by 2. So if we multiply by that, we get 10. 1 by 2 is equal to 2. This is now in our tens column, right? So 2/10 is equal to 0.2. Okay, down here, how can we get this into either tenths or into 100ths? What can we do? We can multiply by 5, okay, to get this to 10. Okay, so if you multiply 2 by 5, we get 10. So if we multiply the bottom by 5, what do we do to the top? Multiply by 5. 1 by 5 is equal to 5. So 5/10 is equal to what in fractions? And decimal, sorry? 0.5. Okay, we'll do one more here. So 1/20. So what can we multiply 20 by to get either a tenth or a hundredth? 5, couldn't we? So if we multiply 20 by 5, we get 100. Okay, so if we multiply the bottom by 5, what do we do to the top? Multiply by 5. 1 by 5 is equal to 5. 5/100 is equal to 0. Any tenths? No. Any hundredths? 5. 0.05. Very simple, right? You should have no problem doing that at all. Okay, and then the last one here, Haley wants to make some smoothies. The ingredients in the recipe are measured in fractions, but her jug only measures in decimals. Change the fractions below to decimals to help her, and then find the total liquid in each smoothie. Okay, so we're going to try the tropical, summer fruits, autumn harvest, and citrus sunshine. So we have 1.5 litre of pineapple juice. So in decimals, what's that? So 1/5. So 1/5. What could we do to make that into a decimal? We could multiply by an equivalent fraction to get the tenths. So we multiply the bottom by 2 to get 10. What can we do to the top? Multiply by 2. And that's equal to 2/10, which we know is equal to 0.2. Very simple. We know this 3/10 is equal to what in decimal form? 0.3. What we're trying to do is get it to either a tenth or 100. So we can change it into decimal form, because we know that this 100 here, so we can cross out this 0, cross out this 0 to make it 4 over 10. And we know 4 over 10 is 0.4. Okay, very simple. What would our equivalent fraction be here? So we can either divide into, so 4 into 1. We remember we did that before in question 1. Or we can change this to an equivalent fraction. If we were to change this to equivalent fraction, we actually can't do it because it doesn't go in properly. Okay, actually we could multiply by 25. Okay, so we can multiply this by 25, but that's a bit difficult. No point doing that. So we'd actually get, we'll try it, we'll do it. So 25 on the top and bottom. So we get 25 by 1 is equal to 25, and 25 by 4 is equal to 100. So that's now our decimal for that. So that's our fraction. So what's our decimal? It'd be equal to, so 0 point, how many tenths? 2. How many fifths? 5. Okay, so use any method you want that converts these into decimals. Because we have loads of ways now. We have our fraction method, we have our division method, and we have our conversion methods as well. Right? So we have loads of ways we can do this. Right?